How's it going, everyone? I'm back home from the Ice Age Trail. It's been awesome, and this is just going to be a quick video just passing on my final thoughts and a really short gear review, just covering some of the newer things that I had for this trail. I'm kind of tired of doing full in-depth gear reviews, so you want to see more details on that, because a lot of my gear has been 99% the same from all my other hikes, so you'll have to go back to kind of more some of my like the Continental Divide Trail or the Arizona Trail, I think, where I did some more in-depth gear reviews for what I'm taking. But anyway, let's get into a couple of things here. So I think the first thing we'll talk about is the shoes I was using for this trail. New style for the Ice Age Trail. I've never used these ones before. I went through two pairs of these, the Oboz Katabatics. In general, I would say they were adequate enough. I give them maybe a 6 out of 10. For the most part, they worked okay, but I don't think I'll ever go back to using these again. Maybe the best feature is that they actually have like squared off bottoms. I usually use the Sawtooth 2s from Oboz, and the biggest default I think on those is that they're really rounded on the edges, so it's extremely easy to roll your ankle. But I definitely love a more flat-based, squared-off bottom on a shoe, and it makes it way more stable. So the stability on this thing was awesome. It's kind of a sturdy trail runner, so in general, it was okay. I think there were a couple of things that just didn't feel right for my feet. And I think they lasted comfortably at least 500 miles. I think I did about 600 miles in each pair before I switched them out to a new one. And I got about 600 miles on this pair, so these are pretty much done and ready for the dumpster. The cushioning on the bottom is just completely blown out. But that's kind of a quick and dirty. It worked okay, but I'll probably never go back to using these again. And in conjunction with footwear, I think we'll cover the waterproof socks next. I can't believe I didn't think of starting with something like this. I used these for the first time on the Continental Divide Trail and absolutely loved them. And if you're going to walk in kind of cold or wet or slushy environments, I think waterproof socks are a must. And I think it's one thing that 99% of people don't ever use or think about. But these were great. Just a random pair I found on Amazon, just searching for waterproof socks. These ones happened to be from Randy's son, and they worked perfectly. No complaints. They're awesome. They're still holding up good, and it was just what I need. As long as you're not crossing a river more than the height of the sock itself, so anything more than like 6 to 8 inches deep, you can just plow through these like it was nothing, and your feet stay nice and dry. So I'm going to keep using socks like these, I think, in the future, at least carrying them on different trails, and it just adds the extra comfort cushion factor that I like as well, too. So I'm very pleased with the waterproof socks. I can't remember if I showed this off when I got it, but as I passed through Cross Plains and stopped in at the Ice Age Trail Alliance, this was the only piece of swag that I got. I would have liked to have picked up other things like shirts and things and hats, but it just makes it more difficult when you're loaded up with extra things that you're not going to use for the trail. And so I think shortly here I'll probably go onto their main website and just buy some stuff and have it shipped to me. But this is the one thing I got for free. It was a nice little bandana. Can't remember if I show that off or not, but it says Ice Age Trail Volunteer on the bottom, which was kind of cool. I loved running into the Ice Age Trail Alliance itself and talking with those folks, and thanks again for all you guys that are working there and putting in the volunteer time. Well, I think the next gear-related item I'm going to talk about is the trekking poles. These ultralight ones from Gossamer Gear, they're still holding up okay. I started using these first on the Arizona Trail earlier this year, and they've got a total of about 2,000 miles on them now. And they're starting to break down in some ways. They've got these plastic caps or so on the ends, right where the pole collapses into itself. On this one, it's completely broken through, and the piece can just come off completely. On the second one, it's got this large crack forming, but it hasn't broken this plastic piece off yet. It's not really a big deal. I don't think it'll functionally affect the pole, and I'm still going to keep using these for the next hike out on the Florida Trail. So they're still holding up okay. It's just starting to collapse. And I think the last piece of gear I'm going to talk about is the tent I was using. Brand new for this trail. This one is from Nemo. In general, I really love the Nemo tents. They're really small and lightweight. And this one is called the Nemo Hornet Elite from their Osmo series. Brand new for this year. In general, I don't like this tent. It was too expensive. I think it was like $500 what I paid for it. And I think it's worth more than like, it's more like a $200 tent is what I would feel comfortable paying for this thing. Ridiculously too expensive. But in general, it's a lot of the same design for their other Nemo Hornet tents 1P that I've used before. They changed a couple of things for this version. Some things for the better, some things for the worse. I kind of wish I was better at doing gear reviews, to be more fancy with the editing and stuff, to kind of go over specifically the areas that I'm talking about, but I don't know. For now, all I can say is it's not worth it. Don't get a tent this expensive. But I'm going to keep using it because I have it, so I'll take this one on the Florida Trail and we'll knock out another 1,400 miles or however long that trail is with it. And I'll keep using it until, usually the zipper's the first thing to fail, and usually they'll last about 2,500, 3,000 miles or so before these tents start breaking down. So we'll go till the failure rate of this thing. I'll get my money's worth out of it at least, but I think that's it for now. And I think just the last thing I wanted to mention was just some final thoughts of the Ice Age Trail in general. Overall, I loved it, but I think a lot of people would not. So in my hiking career now, doing the Triple Crown and then some, I've met a lot of hikers. I've gotten a lot of impressions of what a lot of other hikers in general kind of appreciate for different trails. And a lot of people like those big grand views when you're up in the high Sierra or going over Colorado peaks, and those are awesome aspects of different types of trails, but the Ice Age Trail is not that type of trail. It's a lot of flat, it's a lot of in the woods, it's a lot of road walking when you're not in the woods, and you don't have those grand scenic views, which is fine for me. I kind of love any type of hiking out there. But I feel like a typical hiker would probably not enjoy the Ice Age Trail as much, but I highly recommend it. I loved it. It was awesome. Get to explore a corner of the country that a lot of people probably don't otherwise venture into, and get to see what the dairy farming heartland of America is kind of like up in that regions. So I loved all those kind of aspects. The road walks were not bad. There was wide enough shoulders. There was maybe only one or two little roads for a couple of miles where there was heavier traffic and there was kind of no shoulder. But in general, you're doing like 500 miles of road walking, and it wasn't that bad. It was cool seeing all the small towns that you get to explore, meeting the friendly folks. It was awesome in that regard. I never felt any type of danger from any local areas, and just meeting all the people was super friendly, very helpful folks. And it was a cool also experience to kind of learn more of that Ice Age geological features part of that corner of the States. So that was all really cool. I learned all these new terms like kettles and moraines and ice walled lake plains, and that kind of thing was all fun to explore. But I think that's about it. Those were kind of the top things I wanted to mention here. And about when this video goes live, I think I'll be making a quick excursion out to California. I'm going to be attending the Triple Crown ceremony that the American Long Distance Hiker Association puts on every year, so I'll be out there for that. I don't think I'm going to be filming it, but I will take some pictures and post some stuff on my Facebook page, so a lot of more of the behind-the-scenes type of things I'll be posting in the Facebook Goobs Adventures site. So definitely check that out if you want more of those freebie behind-the-scenes types of things. But that's it for now. Stand by for more announcements for when I'll be hitting some future trails. 2025 is shaping up to be my biggest hiking year yet, so a lot of cool things coming up on the horizon, and Florida is definitely next on the list starting in January. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next time.